Anyway, today I'm just gonna show off my Equalizer 64 game cart. So that's for like I don't know. It's kind of like that cheat ROM that everyone else is using on like emulator and stuff, but it's for like console. So it's mostly just for me and Chris, but anyone else who like is interested in getting a console, you can get something. And I'll show that off for you. Kieran, there's a link there to that song. It's kind of like a remake thing. That's not how it sounded in the game, but it's pretty good. So, first of all, we got the main cam up. Jeez, I should have combed my hair or something. Unwrapping the box. I put it back in the box just so I could like take it out of the box so I could show it off. So here it is here, the Equalizer 64 cart. I got the cheapest one I could find on eBay. Completely scratched up. Ugh. I didn't even know if it was going to work. What I should have done was message the people selling them and been like, hey, does this work? I did not do that. I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to buy one. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. So if you see there, it's kind of like a normal cart here at the bottom. And then it's got this like weird thing on the top. And there's a button here. I don't know what that does. I'm too afraid to press it. And then it's got this little LED screen here. So I will try and set it up now. So, hey O'Connell, and hey Dan, and Chris, and Wayne, and Kieran as well. Make sure I get everybody in there. So one sec, let me take off this mic because it doesn't reach far enough, and then I'll show you. All right, here I'm moving the camera, so if you get motion sickness, close your eyes. Here, I'll cover it with my hand. That way it won't feel as bad. Okay, here we go. There's it on the ground. Usually I keep it on that top shelf there, which is really dusty now that I get a look at it from here. Damn. But unfortunately, you have to stack the carts on top of each other. So here, I'll try and plug it in. All cinematic, like, oh god. I'm like trying to navigate these wires like some sort of like secret agent. Okay. Just 12 on top there. Okay. I'm always a little scared here because it just looks so sketchy, and like I feel like if I push it over, the whole thing is going to die. So here, I'll put the thing is, it's really hard for me to capture the main menu for this. So hopefully it works first try. It doesn't always work. Yeah, it does look weird, Chris, and it's super sketchy. I have to put, when I'm practicing, I have to put my N64 on the ground. But here we go. Hopefully it works. First try. Hopefully not in the way of the camera. Oh shit, it's backwards. So it worked first try, which is pretty good. And there's the main menu there. Don't worry about it, Kieran. So there's the main menu. Now I'm going to switch over to my capture card, but I just want to show you that it does have color and everything. But when I try and capture it, my capture card, I get no color. It's in black and white. And it doesn't look too great, but I'll show you that now in a sec. So up you come. Yeah, I'll put you slightly like this. You can still sort of see the screen. Now I got to switch over to Crt Capture, which is this one. There we go. So this is the main menu here, Chris. This is what, hopefully if it works, this is what you should see, but in color. Let me just grab my pad. Okay. Ah, goddamn chat. Okay. So you got several options here. Chris, the one thing I didn't mention because I completely forgot about it at the time is this key codes option here. It's super important. So if I go into it here, the key codes are set up in a way where, I'm not sure how to explain this properly, but certain games are linked to certain key codes. So this one is set to Mario World 64, which is Super Mario 64, and others. The other key codes it can be set to are Ocarina of Time, and I think Majora's Mask has the same key code as Ocarina of Time. And there's one other one I think that's like the main one. And Chris, if your cart isn't set to, or your key code isn't set to Mario World 64, you need to use the cart that it is registered to change it. I didn't mention this. So if it's set to like Ocarina of Time, you'd have to buy an Ocarina cart to change it to this one. Now I got lucky because the only cart I have is Mario, and it happens to be Mario, which is I think it's a more popular game anyway. But yeah, I should have mentioned that in advance. That's my bad. If you read that document I linked though, you should be fine, and I'll be showing those off later as well. Do not change that if you don't own any other carts. So I'm staying away from that. You got your options. This is just simple stuff. Like if you want sound, the sound is just, it makes a sound every single time you move up like this. It's the most annoying thing ever. Scroll background, you have to turn that off. It gives you motion sickness. Get out of here. So here are the select cheat codes. This is the juicy part. So Super Mario 64 is what I've got selected now. As you can see, there's a ton of games here. Like, I mean, a ton. Look, there's Quake 64. That's supposed to be Perfect Dark. What the hell's Perfect Dark? Never noticed that before. Okay. All right, Super Mario 64. We head in here. Okay, so I don't know if they come with codes already installed, or if this guy, the guy I got it from, made all these codes. So, Connell, now's not the time. But yes, I have seen it. We've got unlimited lives. This one was already on here, which I didn't have to input, which is pretty handy. But there's a ton here, like half Mario, invisible Mario. I haven't tried like any of these. Die before you've moved. I don't know what that means. Big fist Mario. Ugh. Mangled Mario. The following codes only work for slave slot B. Ugh. Anyway, so these are all just a bunch of codes already on here. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom. Okay, these are the codes I've put in here. Can you see them on the screen? They're kind of like, the text is like shaking or something. It means it's like selected. So this one is all stars yellow. This is a pretty basic. Oh, how are you? Okay, good. All stars yellow is just, when you get a star, instead of it being blue, it will stay yellow. It's just an aesthetic thing I like, so that's good. Intro skip. I thought that would be handy, but it's like, what's the point? I can just pick a save file, and then I can just do that. And then, okay, it's one thing, Dan, right? When like, when it's Discord and it could be a notification from anybody just saying like, oh, at Melee Friendlies. But when Connell's messaging me, wait, does he know I'm streaming? Yeah, he does. He messaged me 7 minutes ago in chat. Listen, man, all right. So intro skips, whatever. Lag frame counter. This one's actually pretty handy, Chris. It's not like super important, but it's good if you're on console. So I'll show you once I load up the game. But over Mario's lives, like say you're on like Dire Docks and you're looking at the submarine, this counter where it should say his lives will just rise up and up and up. And every 2 of those counters, so you know, it can be 5, but when it gets to like 6, that counts as a single frame lost. Or no, when it gets to 6, that counts as 3 frame lost. So every 2 frames is a frame lost. If you know what I'm saying, this is. Oh yeah. It's not. This isn't the speed counter. This is the lag counter. So this is really good on Dire Docks because you can look away and you can see exactly how much frames you're losing if you don't do that. And then you can see which part of the games are laggy. Like when you go down Cool Mountain with the penguin, if you don't Mario Cam and look straight down, you'll get some lag and lose a few frames. I mean, it's just kind of handy. You know, it's not like super important. This one's the most important. Level reset and star select. This is just when you die or you're about to die, you hit L. Starts the level again as if you just went into it. Star select, that just means you press L and R when you're inside a level, and it will bring you to like the star select screen that you get at the start. So if you're tired of practicing, you know, I don't know, Owless in Womps, and then you decide to, oh, hey, I'm going to try and get to the tower as fast as possible, you can press L and R and go to that one, which is good. Level select, so this is like the menu. Let me just drink some water. I'm all right at Owless now. I'll try and get it when I'm practicing, but we'll see. Level select is a little tricky. There's no HUD like the ROM cart, but it's just like a combination of like D-pad, C button, the C-pad, or A and B. And then once you press those two together, you press L and R afterwards, and it will load you to that level. And you can get to any level in the game, like Peach Slide, the Metal Cap, Vanish Cap, I mean, all the Bowser stages, pretty much everything. No music, pretty handy. So I didn't think about this at the time, but yeah, I'll turn that one off because that's only handy because I don't want to play copyright music. I don't like the way it like mutes my VODs. Timer. The timer is super important, but there's one thing is the original timer is the timer from the slide. Now, if you remember the slide timer, it goes it says like 12.7. It doesn't give you like the milliseconds after that. Like it's kind of like rounded up in tens. So you need to add like a tiny bit of code there just to make it so it shows like the whole thing, and then it pushes it to the side slightly so it fits on screen. Save states, super important one. There's two codes you can do here. One, you can do the first code is way smaller but gives you one save state, and the second code is way longer but it gives you two save states. So that way you can have like a main save state and like a sub save state for either one. TikTok clock speed. When you're in TikTok clock, you can change the speed while in there, and then like reset the level. So if you want like the fast clock to do like flippers, the triple jump flippers technique, you can like do that. And then you're tired of that, you're like, oh, I want to do 100 coins. You can just instantly, whatever it is, the code, I can't remember. Oh shit, I just hit some. Wet dry world water level. Again, just the water level going up and down, super handy. Speed display, not entirely necessary, but it tells you how fast you're going. And then diadock sub toggle. So when you get the star on the submarine, the sub never spawns again, by the way. So this is super handy once you get the star, and you can just like, you know, practice other stars in there or whatever, and that's fine. So I'll just show you what it's like now for entering in a code. So I'll press A here, oh not A, I think it's Z. Okay, so this is a pretty basic one. You start off here, you put in what the name of your code is, and the game is Super Mario 64. Click default on, so that obviously it starts on. Exit and save, or exit and discard. So that's how you delete or save it. Now when you enter in a code here, it's literally like you press A, and see the way, yeah, the first letter there is highlighted. You can hit, so I needed it to be a D, so I'd go down to D, and it would be something else there, and you press, you know, A, and it goes on to the next one. And then, oh, the next one is a 1, so you go up to 1. The controller is super unresponsive, by the way. Look at this. In this menu, it's like super laggy. But it takes a while. It's not, and you just copy it. Like, I don't know anything about coding. Yes, I entered all this Wayne, but I did not make it up myself. I stole it from online stuff, which I will provide a link later to if you guys are interested. So if anyone who's playing on ROM is like, hey, I want to try out, you know, an actual game like console, well, I'm showing you how to do it. So there you go. So you enter all that in, and once you've entered in your codes, hopefully this works. Go down here. When you enter a new line, I don't know if you saw that, it like copies the previous code. So at the bottom here was ... and then I clicked on it, and then it instantly puts on the code before it, which is this one here. I don't know how to delete this one though, so hold on. Use the L1 and R1. Oh shit, I didn't even know you could do that. I kind of messed up, but I don't know how to fix it. Can I exit and discard? No, if I exit and discard, it will delete it, won't it? Ah, shit. How do I don't know how to delete a line that I did wrong. There shouldn't be an extra line here. So I don't know how to change it. Change it back to like the default. Do I have to just exit and then do the whole thing again? Because if so, that's going to suck. So this is my newest one, the diadock sub toggle. I didn't have this one before. I actually did this one the other day just to warm up to show you how it's done. Turn off, maybe? Oh, turn it off without saving, like? Ah, Wayne, I see now why they hired you for that IT job. You're a genius. I'll just turn off the console so it doesn't save it. One problem, though, is the game card kind of has like a cooldown period when you turn it on and off. So if I try turning it on right now, it won't turn back on. It will just be frozen or whatever. No, it's grand. Here, let's see. There you go. It's back. So you can see in my webcam. The color is actually pretty nice. I like it. It's kind of like this purplish. All right, so that's how you enter your codes. Once you've entered your codes and everything from this menu, or just from the main menu, you can press the start button. Start game with selected codes or start game without. So you can start without the codes if you want to do like regular runs, or when you're getting ready to do runs, but I've never done that. I usually just take out the practice card then so I could put it back on its shelf. But I don't know, you may want to keep it like this. So let's start game with selected codes. Now hold on just a second, because I figured out, because Chris, when I first told you about this, I said, oh, I couldn't capture the gameplay footage from the cart, and that's because it's a PAL cart that's compatible with NTSC carts. So in order to record it, I need to record it at like 50 hertz, 25 frames. So now that Mario is on, I need to change it back to 30 frames. So bear with me for just a second. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but sure. NTSC, apply, okay. Apply, okay. There you go. So I can capture it, but no color, which is strange. Don't know why that is. All right, let's jump in there. As you can see, no sound. So that's pretty handy. The game didn't crash either, so I know that what was it? I know that DarDar sub worked, so thank you for that, Wayne. So let's go into the new one. Those save files are all ones I've done myself. There are custom ones, so you can enter in a code for like.
I have baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Man, that's so weird. Without the music, that just feels weird, and it felt wrong, kind of talking over it too. But I don't know. So yeah, there are codes. What was I saying? Yeah, there's codes for like 120 star file, 70 star file. There's ones for like 48 star files for like 70 star. There's ones for like all the stars done up to Tippy, so that you have like a save file for Rainbow Ride and Tick-Tock Clock. Hold on. Hopefully we can get this first try. Easy, easy. Okay. You just practice 16 with it, or do you much 70? I do a bit of 70, or I used to do a bit of 70. The main thing that I practiced was Dark World, like the start of Dark World. Bowser, to get like the cycle on like the spinning platform. I practiced that a ton, but the thing was I practiced it without the text box that comes up. So when I'm doing actual runs and the text box comes up, it messes up my timing. And so that's pretty much like the main thing I did use it for before I took my massive break. So just to show you the HUD, the Mario, it's over here on your guys' screen. The Mario number here is how much lag frames there are. So 27 from walking in the door. So 27 divided by 2 is like what? 13? I've lost 13 frames, which is about almost half a second just from walking through that door. And look, I have no stars, so I can't go in here. But if I use the level selecting, which I have this one memorized, but up on the D-pad and C right for Womps, then L and R, it just brings me straight to Womps Fortress. So I just go in here. And then you're like, oh no, I messed up and I'm gonna die. You press L to reset, and it's all good. Here, I'll go for Owless, just to see. Oh, shit. Just barely, just barely. Then, before it finishes loading the star animation, you can press L again, it brings you back. That way you can do like rapid stars, so like... Whee! Here, I'll go for Cannonless this time. See a bit of lag there? 21 frames from the bridge. Please. Good. There you go. So that's the kind of save and reset one, which is pretty handy, honestly. Here, I'll jump back in there, and I don't know. There isn't much really for me to show off. It's pretty basic stuff, honestly. Oh, here, anyway, I'll show you one thing. I'll show you the save states just before. I'll go up to Owless real quick. Nope. No way I was making that with a single jump. Alright, so I'm gonna press start. The start button sets your save state for here. And then, so I'm just gonna... Oh no, I messed up. No, just look back here. Hey, we made it. Now back here again. So, it's pretty handy stuff. Although I'm not like a huge grinder, so I mean, I had it, and it took me ages to set up, and then I was like, I use it a little bit. And then that's about as much as I did. What the hell, Mario? It's so... Why me? Ah. Oh. There we go. There you have it. Let me just check my my Chrome tab here. Make sure I've got everything. One sec. Here we go. So this is the code page here. Can you guys see that all right? It looks a little small on my let's see guys. It's a little small on my screen. But these are all the codes you're entering. So this is the US codes. This is for all the level select one. This is the Japanese one. So obviously, Chris, you'll be entering in the Japanese codes. This one requires star select. Now, Chris, I don't know the order you have to do them in, but I'd say, this is what my assumption was, is I did star select, obviously, before I did level select, because this one requires level select. I don't know how it reads the codes. I think it reads them from top down. So obviously you need any prerequisite codes. You do them beforehand and then the ones after. There's closed cannons. There's debug codes. This isn't really my sort of thing. HUD customization. Hide lives, hide coins, hide HP. All this other stuff. Infinite lives. I already had an infinite lives code. Oh wait, I think I edited an infinite lives code that was already in there because the one that was already in there didn't work. So I just changed it to this one. And this one's a single code, or a single line for infinite lives. Like some of them are real easy, but I'll show you the save state one. So this one here on the left, this is just for a single save state. That entire code there you have to enter in. And this is the double one. Using the N64 pad, individually hitting each code, but the only plus is it copies the line beforehand, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass. For this one I actually used, this is the only bit of coding I did by myself, coding. The save button here is 1000 here, and the load button here is 00F. You can choose what buttons you want to save those on. So I kept the start button, so the default is 1000 is for start, and 00F is all 4 of the C buttons at the same time to load in. I thought that was a real pain in the ass to press to like load the save state. So I changed mine to like A, B, and Z. And to do that, I had to like add up the individual, like A has a certain code, and B is a certain code, and Z is a certain code. I had to add all 3 of those up in like a hexadecimal calculator. And then whatever that answer gave me, I put in here. And then I just press A and B and Z, and it will load my save state. And you guys can't see that. I was going to show you on Mario, but there you go. I think that's the longest code there. I don't know what soft reset is. A, B, Z, and start. I think it just resets the game. How did you even figure out you need to do that? Oh, it tells you, Dan. I'm not like some genius. I just read the paragraph at the start. I wish. I was like, oh man, this is so annoying. I'm going to learn how to hack or whatever. But let's see. It says here, this line right here. To customize the buttons, change the last 4 values of the lines marked below according to the button's activators page. And you click on this, and it tells you what the individual buttons are. And I thought you were not good at coding. I'm just there hacking into the mainframe. Oh no, I've been spliced. Oh jeez. But there you go. This is the only thing I had to do was A, B, and Z. So these are the codes individually. I need to add these up. So 8, 4, and 2 added together is what? 14. And hexadecimal, that's A, B, C, D, I believe. So the code is just D0000, I think. I think that's how it works. But I use my dodecahedron calculator to figure out. Oh man, Chris, the only saving grace is that when you enter in a code and it doesn't work, Mario will not load. So when you hit start with selected codes, the game will just be black if you've entered it in wrong. So you'll know if it's working or not. So you should test after every single code, test it. But before you do, this is something that I only figured out. It didn't really cause me any troubles, but it could have. When you enter in a code, it can take the cartridge up to like, at the absolute most, 10 minutes to like save that and actually implement it. So once you've saved the code, you should wait a few minutes and then start Mario. And then see if it works, and if it's all good, then you can, go back and enter in the rest of the codes. No, back up. This is just elementary stuff, This is just simple Mario hacker. This is a normal day for me, hacking consoles and, living the life. Is there any other codes here? Mario 65. Timers pretty handy. Manual timer. Oh, Chris, I put in, which one is it? This timer here. Yeah. I'm pretty much done now anyway. The manual timer here. Oh shit, you guys can't see it. This one. This is the one I put in. So, how do I show you how this works? Here, I haven't got a big blue, but pretty much the manual timer freezes the timer when you get a star. Okay? XCAM timer. This is what you want to use. So when you grab a star, the camera, you're still in control of the camera until you touch the ground. And once you touch the ground, it turns into XCAM. So the way like the red X comes up. I don't know if I can show it here, but the red X comes up on where Lakido is, or Lakitu or whatever. The XCAM is so that, say you do like a long jump to a star, or you do like a backflip to a star and you fly up in the air, the timer will stop with the regular camera the second you touch the star, but this timer will keep going up until you touch the ground with XCAM timer. So if you actually want to time how fast you're going, yes, it goes into XCAM when you go through doors as well, Dan. Good shout. And when you're in XCAM, you can't change the camera, which is why for the Alec wall kicks are, you need to change the camera before you get to the X door, because you can't change it before you get to it. So you have to do it beforehand. And then you spam right on the C stick, or the C right, so that you're spamming it so that the second the X cam ends and you're in control of the camera again, you turn it right. That's why that star has such an easy setup. I mean, I didn't invent the strat, but I did popularize it. So, I mean, it's just how these things go. I mean, I feel bad for the guy who did come up with it, but I mean, you know, it's just how they are. I can't help you there. So that's that. They're the codes. If anyone's interested, just tell me. I have these bookmarked. I can show you these codes, whatever. There's a troubleshooting option here at the bottom too, just in case you're having some trouble. And this is the Gameshark guide. So if you're interested in getting a Gameshark, you should read through this entire thing. It tells you for NTSC consoles if you're in America, and for oh, Chris, do you have this thing? The expansion pack, the memory expansion pack? Because if you don't have it, it's not going to work. I think you probably do have it. You went to hell trying to teach me it. What are you talking about? I mean, I was there in chat popularizing it by telling you how to do it. I mean, don't try and like show me this revisionized history, Dan. All right? Yeah, we have it. Yeah. Then you're sorted. Then you should be anyway. It's just pretty much saying if you live in America, you want to use the Gameshark version. If you're in Europe and you're using, so if you're in Europe, you don't want to use a European console. I was named after the wall jump. Nah. See, if I was you, Kieran, and I was as young as you, then maybe. But I'm older than Mario 64. Unless, you know, what's his name? Miyamoto? Is that the guy who makes Mario? He's just like, oh yeah, I'll ring Annette and tell her that she should name her kid after this wall jump method that I'm making up, which is a shortcut to how you're actually supposed to do the star. Here, don't start with that. Okay, boomer, jeez. But yeah. Then there's also troubleshooting here. So Chris, if your cart still doesn't work, there is troubleshooting here. And then there's a Discord as well.